Hey, so here's a tutorial on how I did these miracle knots all by myself. This is a DIY hairstyle which anyone can do, in my opinion. Before I do any protective hairstyle, I always make sure that my prep is on point. So for this specific style, I started with bond treatment. So I'm starting with the Olaplex number 0. I'm applying it all over my hair until it's damp and going to leave it on for 10 minutes. Then I apply the Olaplex number 3 directly on top. This is an intensive bond building treatment. So the number 0 and the number 3 work hand in hand, and I left it on for 3 minutes as per product instructions. Also, if you're new to bond treatments, they basically strengthen your hair and minimize breakage. So once the 3 minutes are up, I rinse out all the product. I then went in with the Aveeno clarifying shampoo. I usually use the Olaplex clarifying shampoo, but because I didn't have that much product build up, I didn't need something that was too stripping. I always use a clarifying shampoo before doing any hairstyle, just so that my hair and scalp's nice and clean, free from any product, and so that the products that I will use for the hairstyle don't interfere with previous products on my hair. After washing that out, I then go in with a hydrating shampoo. I always do this just so that I can add moisture back to my hair. After washing it out, I then go in with a hydrating conditioner, and I really just take my time detangling, because the last thing I want is knots and tangles when I am styling my hair. So I'm really trying to minimize breakage and just retain as much length as possible. I detangle my hair in the shower. It's just so much easier, and one of my favorite brushes to do it with is a tangle teaser. Bit of advice, just use a conditioner that has a lot of slip. It just makes the tangling so much easier without tugging at your hair. After rinsing that out, I like to use a leave-in / heat protectant to blow dry my hair. I prefer to use a 2-in-1 because it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not a fan of heavy products or my hair feeling heavy, so the less products the better for me. I then use my Dyson Supersonic to blow dry my hair. I always style my hair when it's stretched. This is to avoid knots and tangles and just make styling so much easier. So once my hair is fully blow dried, I then use a bonding oil to seal everything in, and that's the wash day part done. I never skip this step because I like to make sure my hair is in the best condition before I put it away for a few weeks. Okay, so now let's move on to installing these miracle knots, because boy, they took forever. I started off by parting my hair into 4, and I started at the front because I can actually see what I'm doing there. I'm not great at parting my own hair, and I've really tried to make these as neat as possible, so I used some braiding gel that would help neaten the parts. I wanted to use Shining Jam, but they didn't have any in the beauty supply store, so I just used this green one, and it's doing the trick, to be fair. So for the braid size, I went for a medium size because I didn't want to be here for days. Already when I started doing these mini braids, I was questioning my whole existence. What am I doing, and why am I doing this? And also, the smaller the braids, the longer it will take to take out, and I just didn't want that headache. It took me about 3 hours to do the front, and I can't lie, I just wanted to leave them as mini braids at this point. And now it's time to work on the back, and honestly, the back was none of my business because I couldn't see what the hell I was doing. I'll take a picture every now and then to see if the lines were somewhat straight, and if they were, then that's good enough for me. The curly pieces will cover most of the back anyway, so I wasn't too fast about it being really super neat. So the hair that I'm using is from ISEE Hair, and it's body wave 26 inches. And when doing the mini braids, I didn't braid my hair all the way to the end because I'll be adding the curly pieces to the ends of my hair. It's very easy and very simple to do. You just attach it to each strand of hair and just braiding as if you're braiding your own hair. After reaching the ends of my hair, I continued braiding just so that it could be secure and it wouldn't unravel. This bit took quite a bit of time because I added extensions to every single braid around my hair. But yeah, after doing this bit, and everything else is rather quick. Right, so now pay attention and look closely. Take your crochet needle, make sure the latch is open, and put it through the braid. Take the crochet piece, put it in the latch and close the latch, and then put it through the braid. Once it has reached the other side, you can then make a knot. I know some people aren't too fond of this method, but this is the way that I'm doing it. I chose to do this method because if it's tricky to take out, I'll just cut the curly pieces off because I have no plans to reuse this hair. Sorry. I added 2 curly pieces per braid. The good thing about this hairstyle is you can add as many or as little curly pieces as you wish. If you want it fuller, then of course you can add more. It took me 8 hours, it's super lightweight, and I'm happy with how these came out. Thanks for watching.